Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your biggest and best Warhammer tournament focus show. Going to tell you about all the great tournaments coming up over the weekend. My name is Paul Murphy. I'm your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri.
G'day, everybody. I'm back.
And Dustin Henshaw.
G'day, everybody. He's back.
Oh, you guys change of costume, change of scenery. I am at Dragon Con. Right behind me is the wonderful city of it. Oh, you can't see it on that side. The wonderful city of Atlanta. It's behind me. So got a makeshift studio here. Gonna be a great weekend. I feel even though missing out on all this tournament action because we got a big one to talk about towards the back of the show. How are y'all doing?
I am stupendous.
If you weren't in a great mood, Adam, that you did vacation wrong.
I'm jet lagged out of my brains though.
That's
I've slept. I think I've slept less than 12 hours in the last 72. But by the power of caffeine and ADHD, we are here.
We need a WTC recap. We got to have some shows. Look, we do some other shows. We'll most likely be covering some of that stuff, and I'll also maybe a rundown on this show of the WTC that happened a couple weeks ago. But what a spectacular event as well.
Absolutely stupendous. Yeah, I was there and I was able to do the coverage. You can go back and watch it on War Games Live if you're so interested. But man, it was a wild show. France going back to back. Of course, they were the short money to do so. Right. In many years gone by, usually you would not back the person who won last year to win again because it's only ever happened once before in the history of the international level of competition. But man, they did it. They cemented a legacy that's going to be hard to beat in the modern era of the game. And well done to them. And to everybody else here at the podium, Germany and the United States getting that third place is something that they've been chasing that podium for a couple of years and been right a sniff away.
As I mentioned, we do this show live. We got some folks in the chat. If you're joining us on the podcast aggregators, we have an amazing chat group. Nurgle Matt, good to see you. KR, A Steve, John West. Hope everybody is doing all right. Sound out in the chat if you're getting ready to go to an event this weekend. Let us know what you're taking. Again, I've mentioned this great chat community. Keeps going. Might have some fun things to do with the chat later on. But let's talk about some events. We're going to cover two great events this week. We're going to give a highlight of what we know about the Nova Open, some of the players there in attendance, and then the Roll for Damage event down there in Australia.
And apologies because Nova didn't unlock their listen time. I did add the Belgian Open 64-player event in Mechelen on
3 events.
Forgot to add it for Paul to read out on the ticker. So my bad.
It's not on the prompter. He's not reading it, man.
What I meant to say, do over. 3 great events.
All right, we're going to go out. I'm going to count us back in about 5 minutes, all right?
Yeah, see you guys. We're out.
Belgian Open. We're going to do some Nova stuff. We're going to talk about the Roll for Damage. First event we are going to be covering is the Roll for Damage in Adelaide, South Australia. If you hadn't guessed it by now, it is in Australia. 99 players. And the first thing I checked was like, did the one G-Seater cult player in the world not show up? No, he's there. They're there. But then saying what gets it to 100 next month or next year?
Surely you just add a Gumby, right? You're at 99, just for the WMCs. We're gonna chuck a Gumby in there and just get that Hungy up there.
I appreciate that authenticity though, from the weekend though. But 99 players again. That's absolutely awesome. And I believe we've talked about this event before, haven't we?
I think this is the 3rd or 4th time we have covered this said event. Hallowed event now in Adelaide, South Australia. There was a gentleman. An older gentleman who used to go by the name of Damage. He was a crusty old Aussie bloke, and he used to play the most hilarious, fun stuff at tournaments in South Australia and still do very, very well with them. Like he just get like miraculous wins out of nowhere playing like really suboptimal stuff. And everyone used to worry about playing against the Damage. And when he passed away, unfortunately, they created an event in his honor. And this is a hallowed event in South Australia and should be another good one this year.
What are we going to see there?
For the Imperial Super faction, there are 4 Sisters of Battle, 3 Custodes, 4 Admech, 2 Astra Militarum, 1 Grey Knight, and 7 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 3 Adeptus Astartes, 2 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 3 Blood Angels, and 2 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 7 Chaos Space Marines, 6 T-Suns, 10 Death Guard, of course, 5 World Leaders, 7 Demons, and 4 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 3 Necrons, 4 Orcs, 4 Tau, 4 Votan. Very even spread across the Xenos factions there. Hive Mind, there's 5 Tyranids. And of course, the ubiquitous single G-Seater cult player in the world is there as well. Eldari, there's 2 Drukhari and 4 Eldari. Meaning the faction podium is Death Guard, topping it off once again. No shocker here at 10. And Imperial Knights right behind them with 7. But they're also tied with Demons and Chaos Space Marines. So that's nice to see. And then Thousand Suns pulling up the bronze podium here with a 6. And that's not bad. That no Chaos Knights making the podium here with only 4 representations. So,
but look at the chaos density. 39 out of 99 playing chaos. Almost half the field chaos players. And I mean, you got to say, so Adeptus Astartes, pretty low on numbers here. In fact, some of the mainstay Australian factions like Tyranids, like Astra Militarum are all low here as well. They're usually pretty high, pretty well stocked in Australia. Orcs popping up and down in Australia as well. They're all pretty middling in numbers, especially Astra Militarum with only 2. Hell, Adeptus Mechanicus and Sisters doubled out Astra Militarum, which is just what's going on there, guys.
What is going on?
Australia against Australia, mate. Down under, gonna under.
Listen, this is the meta 6 months from now. We know this. We discussed this before.
Right.
I do really like it, though. Yeah. Well, I know I've said this before, but I really do like it when the perspective of the bad guy factions are strong in the game, because when you're walking through the event, even though it's a tournament event where you're pairing into like wins, it almost seems like it kind of thematically looks pretty cool.
Oh, it's actually crazy how popular they are right now. Like, I'm in the middle of making an 8-man team with another group of guys that are local. We're doing like a prep event for my event, and we have every single chaos faction in representation on our team.
Oh, sick. That's actually a good team as well.
That wasn't intentional.
Like if you do the same thing for like the conglomerate of Xenos, as it is, if you add Hivemind and Eldari into Xenos, you don't end up with the same like strength. Same for Imperium.
You don't.
If you do all Imperium, you've got agents and stuff like that. But just Chaos right now, you could run just every Chaos faction and you're a freaking juggernaut. Like, it is terrifying. Like, where's your weak spot? Like, yeah, where's your opponent going to get the easy matchups?
It's me. It's clearly the GSC. Like, there's no way that I am actually going to be able to compete with all Chaos factions on the rest of the team. Like, I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm the weak link. I did it wrong.
Now, I pulled out one top player in attendance. Now, take this one with a grain of salt because, of course, the Votann Codex is out. But this was a top player in representation that wasn't playing Imperial Knights, because doing an Imperial Knight breakdown takes 2 seconds. There's nothing.
You got some big knights. You got some small knights. Canis is probably in there.
Exactly right.
We covered it. Check. Next.
We just did it. You nailed it. So we do have Mr. Marcus Butler, ranked 6th in the ITC in Australia, playing Leagues of Votann Oathband. Now, more than unpacking this list, which I'm going to do quite quickly, I'd like to bounce off you guys. I've been a little unplugged. I'd like to bounce off you guys your impression of what do you think, like, what units will be going out of this list and coming into this list, when the Codex comes into effect. We've got an Ironmaster with 2, Iron Here champs in addition, 10 Hearthkin, 4 Sagittars, 6 Thunderkin, 2x5 Chthonian Berserks, 2x5 Hearthguard to go with the Iron Here champs, a single Hecaton, so dropped 1, a unit of 6 and a unit of 3 Pioneers, and 10 Jaegers. So this is not far off the, colloquially called the, best, Tim Schneider #1 Votann list. This is the Marcus Butler special, where he's dropped 1 Hecaton and fleshed out a little bit, probably to get the Thunderkin and the Hearthguard in there to get a little bit more chunk and a little bit more anti-tank. Because I know a lot of people, the Hecatons are extremely good into Astartes chassis. They're very, very powerful and potent into like all those Chaos factions we just mentioned, apart from, maybe some versions of Demons, because they're a bit anemic into Bellicor, and things like Chaos Knights. But they're extremely good at shredding, Blood Angels, Adeptus Astartes, Thousand Suns, things like that. So he's made a concerted effort here, and he swapped out a Hecaton for the Thunderkin, in my opinion, and a few other bits and pieces. What do you boys make of this? And then what do you see this looking like, come a couple of weeks from now when the Codex is in full effect?
I mean, oh my goodness, there are like 2 or 3 characters getting dropped for Votann. That's got to define or change up some of the list in some way.
That new character, I can't remember his name, but I looked over his rules once, and I'm like, yeah, he's in.
The thrice devoured was it Agnerson, that guy, or the Arcanist?
The punchy dude, the guy with the tyranny. Yeah. That guy's a windmill slam, and the other guy as well. He's really good. He's also very good. But depends on the build. He's a bit more archetype dependent, and depends on the build a little bit more for him. But I see the other dude is almost a windmill slam. Don't know what his points are right now. Anything else you boys see here that's going to be a dramatic shift, or anybody in chat want to point anything out that you think is going out of like the staple Votan lineup and possibly getting replaced by something?
Oh, you mean like what's going to change with the new stuff that they'll be able to use soon?
Yeah, is anything any of the mainstay Votan units going away or being replaced with something?
I think Sagittars are going to start getting replaced by the new. I can't even remember what
the new, even smaller thing.
The new, even smaller thing.
That's the one I was getting at, because I think those things are freaking amazing.
They are absolutely they're cracked, and I think you're going to start to see. Funny enough, depending on the detachment you're bringing, I actually think Pioneers are going to start taking a back seat.
Yeah.
And you're going to start seeing. I'm sorry, I can't remember all the names of these new things, but the chonky close combat boys that are bigger than they should be.
Stabby Men of Iron, as I like to call them. I don't care.
Stabby Men of Iron, yeah, it works.
Stabby Men of Iron, Shooty Men of Iron. That's how I want to. That's how I want.
And I do think you'll probably see probably some more hecatons and like Thunderkin put in here, just because. I'll be honest, I am very partial to the transport shenanigan detachment, so that's what I would
really.
I know, right? It's weird hearing a GSC player talk about shenanigans and wanting to do stuff with transports. But yeah, I feel like that one's they have a busted strat, and I would take advantage of that so hard. And I think that's where people are going to start leaning. If they, competitively speaking, the Thunderkin will work really well on that, and so do the big punchy. What you said, the punchy ones, the new ones.
The punchy Men of Iron, yeah.
The punchy Men of Iron.
There's some percentage of all Votan lists that I think are utility or enable units, and to let you do some of the other great stuff. And I'm curious, is like if those utility functions change, like that is that the percentage that is modular? But look at it like I don't see the Jaegers going anywhere.
No, the Jaegers I think are still at least one squad is essential. 100%. Yeah.
So Votan operate very similar to Adeptus Astartes in that they have the killer and filler, as I like to say it.
Sure.
Think about like a Foo Fighters album. But the game is not really defined by how good your killer is, because everyone's killer is pretty freaking killer. It's designed by how good your filler is and how much juice you get from your filler, your scouts, your Jaegers.
And you still score all your points on turn 5.
Yep. Yeah. So that's really what defines a lot of the best armies out there. So I'm really interested as well, Paul, to see what takes if any new filler makes it into, because 100% Jaegers ain't going away, and maybe like the Pioneers probably don't go away as well, but you don't take the span to 6-mans like you do now. I agree with Dustin. There's some archetypes now coming in where the 6-mans won't hold the water.
I do think Berserks and probably Hearthguard are going to start taking a backseat too.
Yeah.
And
well, I think
you know what has actually really impressed me. What I've been seeing is the Hearthkin. Like they're actually really worthwhile. Just the basic
good filler.
Really good filler. Like really good.
Yeah. Very, very good filler.
This is the part of the show where we pick winners. So we actually kind of grade ourselves on how well we predict the winners of these events in our after show, our part 2 of the show. That's for tier 2 Patreon subscribers and higher. Every tier is amazing on Patreon, by the way. Just want to point out we do a separate follow-up show where we look back at our predictions and talk about the top 10 list and the list that actually won the thing. Sometimes it's the one we called, or at least the faction that we called. Sometimes it's something totally different. Those top 10s have been so diverse. Curious to see if it's going to get a shake up in the next couple of weeks.
All right, I'm going to roll for it, boys. It's an Australian dice because it's an Australian event. It's got the kangaroo in it.
You actually roll.
So I'm going the 5 or 6, obviously.
Sure.
Paul or Dustin, call you 3 or 4. Who wants it first?
I'll take 1 or 2.
All right, done.
Okay, 3 and 4. 3 and 4 for me.
Where can I roll this? You guys can see, so you know I'm not cheating.
No. We're not going to stop believing you now.
So like, look on your hand.
Look, behold, the magic.
Like this is on this network. This is episode 100.
Yes.
We didn't mention that, did we?
Yeah, we're not gonna not believe you when you roll the die.
Or we're just always gonna not believe you no matter what you do.
It's true. Well, you could see that one. So
actually, I just saw a die. I didn't see the number. How good do you think my eyes are?
Well, fair. Well, you lost.
So all right, I lost. I get that part. Right? That's fair.
Pick your poison, bro.
Look, I'm going Death Guard because
of course
I know that they've Death Guard players are having to get back in the tank a little bit, but that tank is still rock solid.
So this is pre-nerf.
Death Guard. I'm sorry. No, forget what I said.
And I should go last here because I know everybody playing. So Dustin, what do you want next?
I mean, I don't know. And if it's pre-nerf, I got to go with Imperial Knights, right? Like,
yeah, I'm going to go with the T-Suns. Back the little aberration of numbers there. And yeah, I was going to go Imperial Knights if you didn't take them, but that's the logic.
Seems. I just feel like Knights have, you can solve for Knights, and they've been around a while.
You definitely can.
They've been like, it's a big freaking target, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big 28 wound target on that Atropos. Someone's going to figure out the silver bullet.
Yeah, for sure. The next event, look, it's chaos back here behind the scenes. I don't know what event we cover next.
We're going to do some stats on Nova.
Stats on
so.
It's a great idea. Let's do the stats on Nova. So look, Nova has their list locked. We completely respect that from the events, but we did get an idea of some of the players that are going to be in attendance, and I think it's cool to talk about, a giant event and the type of like where they rank in the ITC, these types of events, bring in and what you have to go through if you're going to run that gauntlet.
Yeah, so Nova is 382 players, 9-rounder, and pretty much. Of course, lists are locked. We're going to respect that and the faction, all those things. But I just went through the players in attendance, the listed players, and I just cross-referenced that with some of the ITC standings and pulled out, 3 data points. 5 of the top 10 in the world in the ITC are in attendance. So half of the top 10.
That's globally. That's not a regional thing. That's global stats.
And then even beyond that, like John Lennon isn't listed as one of those top 10. He hasn't even listed, I believe, as one of the top 100. But he is in attendance in addition. So you can almost say like another top player in the world, in addition to these stats. 23 of the top 200, and that is 23 of the top 100 in the United States. So almost a quarter of the top 100 players in the United States in North America are in attendance at this event. So almost an eighth of the top 200 globally. So this is going to be stacked towards the top end. This thing is going to get pretty wild because, of course, there's the top cut and the pod system.
This event uses the bracket system, if I recall correctly. So check out the website that tell you all the stuff. But that means like bracket 1 through 4 is gonna be
correct,
rough.
Dude. I was about to say that's exactly what I was getting at, mate. You're picking up exactly what I'm putting down. Like there's like bracket 2 and bracket 3 could be kind of more stacked with ITC players because of course you can always just have some, and we want to see a bunch of people, unknown names, making names, smash it and get into that top bracket and things like that because we always want to have new players mixing it up and stuff like that. But I had a event, Uprising, our like a 3-day 8-rounder where bracket 2, which was the one I was in, was like I was in bracket 4 in the X and 1 bracket, and it was like we were like looking around like, how did this happen? We're all murderers. Like it was like, how did I end up here? You guys are going to slaughter me.
That's the worst when you're like, okay, cool, I lost one, but at least it's going to set me up. Correct. I have a smooth, and you look at like, what?
Yeah, you just get dropped into the shark tank and someone rubs some blood on the top of your head. It's not a great time. But this one is going to be a very interesting event to watch. Now, I'm unsure if they've adopted the new points change. I believe they have. The last I heard is that they had, but I didn't have that.
No, but I would assume. But
yeah. Well, they haven't unveiled their list. People are still submitting lists right now, I believe, and will be up until like I think the start of the event almost. So I don't think there's much reason for them not to, unless there was an outcry from their player base that said, we won't come if you change the points. I've already bought and painted everything, yada yada yada. But I do believe they are. So definitely going to be one to watch because the vast majority of events this weekend are not adopting the changes. So this is going to be the one that's going to give us the window into what is coming for the next couple of months.
I can't wait to see those. Yeah, with these plays, and can't wait to see some of the action, hear about the results and stuff. So keep your eyes peeled. That's going to be happening out there in the world.
Exactly, and you can join and get all that goodness over on the Warhammer live stream, where 2 of our lovely contemporaries will be doing the coverage in lieu of myself and Paul, to our chagrin and FOMO. But you should go and check that out if you are at all able, because it's going to be a fantastic 9-round event.
I'll be perched. Seeing what's going on in the mornings anyway.
I'm jet lagged out of my brains. I'm probably gonna be awake anyway, so you might see me in chat.
Awesome. Well, look, going to be a great weekend. We'll talk about this. Is one of the events I think we'll probably cover the results on our part 2.
Extensively, we'll cover the results over on part 2. But yeah, on to the next one, boys.
The next one. This is the Belgian Open. It's in Michelin, Belgium. Did I nail that?
Eklund, but yeah.
Oh.
You're trying to get too fancy with it. You're trying to get too fancy.
64 players over 6 rounds. What are we going to see there?
In the Imperial Super Faction, there are 1 Sister of Battle, 3 Custodes, 1 Admech, 1 Astra Militarum, 2 Grey Knights, and 5 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, 3 Adeptus Astartes, 2 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 1 Blood Angel, 2 Black Templar, and 1 Death Watch. Chaos, 3 Chaos Space Marines, 1 T-Sun, 6 Death Guard, 4 World Eaters, 2 Emperor's Children, 2 Demons, and 3 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 5 Necrons, 2 Orcs, 1 Tau. Highbind, there's 3 Tyranids, and there's a second G-Sealer called player. There's 2 of them here. What the heck is going on?
Someone spilled water on him or fed him after midnight.
Fed him after midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just sprouting these things all over the place. Eldari, there is just the 7 Eldari, no Drakari in attendance. But that means the faction podium, Eldari topping it with 7.
haven't
And
seen
then
that in a long
Death Guard
time.
right behind that with 6. And then, of course, Imperial Knights behind that with 5. But tied with Necrons also at 5. That's an interesting podium, but at least it's a little bit different than what we've seen aside from Death Guard and Imperial Knights still just showing up everywhere. But Eldari topping off is interesting.
Eldari taking the top spot is very interesting. Now, boys, conjure yourself back probably about 10 weeks ago, 2 months ago, when Ynnari got absolutely shot out of a cannon into the sun. We all unanimously said, everyone sit tight, Eldar's going to be back. And
too many tools in there. There's too many threats.
I was saying, like, Aspect Host and War Host are probably only 10 to 15% worse than Ynnari. Yeah?
Yep.
It's only 10 to 15% worse, if that. And like, you might even get proficient enough with those builds that you're just as strong. Maybe you don't have the shenanigans or the nonsense that Ynnari seems to be able to get away with doing every edition. But Eldar's back, and they have great game into the top of the meta. They were taken extensively and identified extensively at the WTC level as a silver bullet to knights of both varieties, as being able to, at a minimum, grind them out to a small loss or small win, and with massive upside, depending on the mission and the terrain maps you're able to get to push a decent sized win onto these top factions. And then they grind into Death Guard just as effectively as well, because they're MSU nonsense all around. Cool. Drop your three Death Shroud and your Lord of Contagion. You can have 5 Rangers for that on turn 3, because I blocked you out from doing anything else. Cool, you got your 5 Rangers, and now we're going to stay 24 inches away from you the rest of the game. Enjoy. Yeah, congratulations. So there's a lot of things they can do at the top of the meta, and players are starting to catch on. And yeah.
Well, I mean, like you said, we predicted this a long time ago, but saying that Eldar is going to be good again is like saying, hey guys, water's wet. So it's not like we really broke the mold here or anything.
Well said.
But we're here. We got there, and we knew it was coming. Eldar they've always had play. It was just a matter of how long it took people to switch from the Ynnari bustedness to.
And it was a big blow. Like, you didn't have to, like, change
It was
things.
a big blow,
well,
yes.
More than that, it was a psychological hit, because they hit him pretty freaking thoroughly. Like, they took old Yeller out behind the shed. They didn't leave much wriggle room.
Too soon.
Yeah, they didn't leave much wriggle room for Ynnari to continue being a faction. They pretty much deleted it. Hit the big red button.
We know this though. Like,
couldn't happen to a nicer faction as far as
my goodness. When you put rules on top of rules, like when you sprinkle on rules on good rules, sometimes it gets a little hectic out there.
I'm resisting bashing the table, but how many editions are they going to let Ynnari do what it does? This is the 4th edition, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, where they've been like, let's let them break the game, and this will be fun.
They've only existed for 4 editions, so
correct. They are in my
100% right now.
But they're so cool. They're so cool.
In my 5 things that have broken every edition of the game that I've ever played. Every edition that they've ever existed in. Ynnari, Flyers. One of them's Pink Horrors. Pink Horrors have been problematic. They haven't made this edition. They have not. They may not make it this edition. But Pink Horrors have been a problem in every edition I've done. But anybody else in chat, see if you can figure out what the other 2 might be, because I've jet lagged and I've forgotten. But
I think the other 2 things, like 3 most of the time. So if there's 2 more, you haven't said it on the show very often.
There is 2 more.
I mean, Knights are one of those things too that are difficult to balance.
But see, the thing is, Knights had an edition off where they were not good.
They're one of those. They've actually gone all the way down and all the way up. There's no middle ground for Knights. I find they're either way up there or just way down there.
Last edition,
yeah,
essentially Knights. Knights never conquered the game for any period of time.
And 8th edition topic.
8th edition, they as an army didn't, but the freaking Castellan just like rickrolled us everybody across the world for like 9 months. So you make the count there.
I mentioned, this is again not the topic only too often the theoretical, but with the way the missions work, the way the army works, the way that some of these things. I'm glad there's a lot of levers that can be pulled to kind of bring things in the line, and I think we're seeing that. What we see reflected in the now we've seen some lists that are being dominant in the top spot, but that 2 through 9 is still anybody's. Was been anybody's game for a long time.
Okay,
I remember which one? Well, indirect. Yes, I was about to say indirect's the 4th. Correct. See if anybody can get 5th. I think I remember it now, but I'll tread water on it. I did pull out one of the top lists in attendance. This was the gentleman who was the top ranked once again, who wasn't playing Imperial Knights. There was 2 guys ranked higher than him in Belgium, the ITC, but both were playing Imperial Knights. And look, they're both taking cannons and actroposes. Yay! But this is Leonard Jansen, ranked number 5 in the ITC in Belgium, playing Dark Angels Wrath of the Rock. What a coinky-dink.
You did this on purpose.
This is what happens when you put a Dark Angel player in charge of the list view.
Because we wouldn't just be exclusively doing the one GNC player if you were doing.
I switch up with Tyranids every so often. Come on.
Look, if tournaments want to, get in the top Dark Angel player in their region to get featured on this show, that's cool, right?
Let's be honest. If we were doing Genius to their cult list every single episode, it would just be a host of Ascension cut and paste right now. So
it would with the random one gentleman in Queensland named Eric who does amazing things with Outlander. This is Wrath of the Rock, like I said. This runs Azrael with the Lion in addition, and Samael, so a 3-pack of special characters, only leaving 2 on the shelf, Asmodai and Pigeon Toe Boy. Anyway, a captain with ancient weapons, which makes him extremely killy in combat, and then a lieutenant with combat weapons tempted in battle. It is. I've never run him.
to run with the Lion, right? That guy just takes the Lion, and nobody can shoot either one of them.
You can't shoot either of them. They just double up. It's a beautiful little package. 5 intercessors, Impulsor, 2x5 Deathwing Knights. So skewing one of the 3rd unit Deathwing Knights for some more stuff. And I agree with it. I think the 3rd unit Deathwing Knights is in fact a trap. Unfortunately, it's just too many points and too few models for longevity in the game. And then we got 6 Eradicators, because of course you want to take the Eradicators, especially with -1 to wound. They become really thick. An Invader ATV, 3 Outriders to go with Samael. I always think of this as my flying company. Is one of my favorite units in the game. All the advance and charge, getting the plus damage on Sammy is absolutely amazing. Unit of 5 scouts, and then 2x5 Stern Guard to be rotated through the Impulsor, with I assume Azrael joining one of them, and possibly the captain in the other.
So why the Outriders? Is it, you think that's a point compromise? They're big bases. Like, do they get the buff that makes them just like finally pushes them to that next level?
Yeah, so they get -1 to wound. They join it with Sammy. Sammy gives them advance and charge. And then all that goodness.
But they have a lot of attacks on the base profile.
Yeah, and they get +1 damage when they charge, which they give to Sammy, who has 6 attacks with sus 2, hitting on 2s at 6/3/2. So Sammy just like gets 10 hits against an oath target, and he just like kills. He just solo squads by himself. Is the way that works. They're a delivery system to get Samael into combat, because he's pretty much like a whole unit's worth of damage by himself.
I love that,
and I love it. That's one of my favorite freaking units. I was playing it ages ago in Gladius, and now it's even better because it's just a superstar unit and very cheap for the damage output, and with the right buffs in some other detachments like in Gladius where you can give it lance and things like that, he doesn't get the extra damage, but I've had him like solo, like go in and just solo small knights and things like that, just like one tap him. Impulse is a good choice here. A couple of good utility units, or fillet units as we were calling them, the scouts, the single ATV I like a lot, and then the intercessors, which of course can go with Az if you just want to sit him in your backfield and don't want to risk him because you need the CP in that game and some longevity. And then of course the Lion he's a real big pain in the ass, and he's so good into the knight meta because he'll like with a little bit of help, he'll walk up and smash a knight to bits, the absolute bits for you. He's a little bit lacking into Death Guard, I found in my own bits and pieces of testing, but because they operate at such a short range anyway and have a lot of speed, unfortunately, to get within lone op range. But that lone op is so good against things like Chaos Knights, Despoilers, and things like that, where you're like, come within 12. I freaking dare you, mate. Come on. Bring him in. Let's go. Well, he's got a 3-up invulnerable save. He just still has just like a 3-up invuln. He can just scam you.
Is cool.
Yeah, he can just scam you and be like, yo, you're going to put your 36 attacks into me that are going to wound on 5s. And I can, if you don't have Ignore's cover, I can AOC this in cover and like just take a 2-up against one of your buckets of 36 shots, and then take 3-up against the next guy. And then, well, if I live, shit, I'm taking one with me. And then you start rapid ingressing Deathwing Knights when they come within 12 to kill the lion, and all of a sudden you're just rotating Deathwing Knights into them, things like that. There's a lot of great combos you can do with this list, and I'm a big fan, so I think it's a good time.
I love all the options here. There's a ton of lists. I mean, in this list, like we like to say,
yeah.
But this is quality stuff like Azrael, Lion.
Well, think about it like a big L, like a big L, and you got the Lion just sitting on the outside of the L. You got the combat weapon lieutenant inside the L, and then right next to them you got the 6 eradicators. You're like, what are you willing to put within 12 of the Lion?
About to get lost.
What are you willing to do?
And then show us the secrets of the rock.
I'm going to show you some wrath. But anyway, but the rock is cooking. Time to pick some wins, boys.
I don't think we can say that.
I didn't smell anything.
I didn't smell anything either. Never was here. Never heard of the WWN.
What is winning this event?
So I picked last. Oh, Dusty, you pick first. Let's go. We still need it. We're still going to pick for Nova, by the way.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were going to pick for that because we don't know the players. Or I guess
we're going to have blind punts.
Okay,
is what we're going to do.
I
can tell you some of the top names in attendance because
but we don't know.
I want to pick totally blind.
Well,
even though I know some of the folks as well, but
some of the players in attendance, you're like they only play like 1, maybe 2 factions. You can have a punt, and more than willing to tell you. But Dustin, take it away. What do you want for Belgium?
Oh, jeez. I mean, I guess. You know what? I'll go Eldari.
Back the numbers. Paul, would you like?
This is a good question. This seems like a tough meta. I'll go with. I don't want to pick Death Guard twice.
Yeah,
I don't. I do because I think that's what's going to take it. And I think I need points this month. Don't we all need points this month?
Well, I'm just gonna zero us, and this is gonna go in September.
Oh,
yeah. So you don't need points yet, but
yeah, we're gonna go for an extended September.
Extended September. All right. Well, then I got to go over the Dream then. Blood Angels.
Nice. I'm going for the Dream as well. Dark Angels. Let's go, Jansen.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Nice.
Well, I told you there was 2 guys higher ranked than him in the ITC playing Imperial Knights, and none of us went there. So we are all of a certain.
I already picked Imperial.
Loyalty is its own reward.
I want to pick it twice. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So this is the part of the show. Look, if you're brand new here, thank you very much.
Apologies. Let's do Nova.
Oh, we're going to do Nova. All right. Yes. Right. Yep. Sorry.
Do you want some names, boys? I'll give you some names of some people in attendance and some rankings. So we have Zach Point, who is ranked 3rd in the world, 1st in the United States. He has played this season Eldari, Orcs, Astartes, Blood Angels, Chaos Knights, Necrons, Thousand Suns. So, crapshoot. Conan Jennings is there, who ranked 4th in the world, 2nd in the ITC. Pretty much just plays Adeptus Astartes. He played Ultramarines pretty much all season. So that is a very strong pick.
We saw him win in Dallas and Adepticon.
Yes. One Adepticon. Absolutely. Derek Apshi's there. He's played Heretic Astartes, Death Guard, Chaos Demons, and Tower this season, but he's known as a absolute Chaos master. Mark Hattel is there. Derek is 9th in the world, 6th in the United States. Mark Hurdle is there, who's ranked 10th in the world, 7th in the United States. He's a Space Marine specialist. Folge is there. He has played Custodes, Eldari, World Eaters, and Necrons this season so far, ranked 19th in the world, 9th in the United States. Brian Doherty, 30th in the world, 12th in the United States. Has played World Eaters, Empress Children, Heretic Astartes, and Chaos Demons this season. Joshua Campbell's there. The dude plays Necrons. TJ's there. The dude plays T-Suns. Marshall Arthurs is there, who's a relatively new name to myself, but he's ranked 58th in the world, so the dude is legit. He's played Admech, Necrons, and Chaos Knights. Predominantly played Admech, so I'd be really interested to see how he does. But that's just a couple of names off the top.
Nice.
Give you some ideas, lads.
Who's picking first?
I guess I should, as I haven't yet. Picked first. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I'll be a lamer and I'll go to the Death Guard.
That's fair.
We don't know what all these people are playing.
No, we don't. We don't know for sure. This is a blind pick, boys. Oh wait, no, the nerfs are in effect.
No, too late. Take your finger off.
Shush.
Fingers off the model.
You don't know that. The finger's still holding the dice. Say no. I'm going to go the safe pick, Astartes.
Son of a.
Shush. Paul, you're up next.
Astartes. So
these
Astartes
points don't count now for us.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Eldari.
Whoa.
That's not a bad job. Dustin, what would you like, mate?
I don't know now. I was all set for Astartes.
Trying to cross-reference what I think somebody might be playing.
Doing it blind is really hard, especially when the other ones that I know of are playing Astartes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might know these same guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I know you do.
Thousand Suns probably not a bad choice.
Heretic Astartes, like any
Heretic
CSM,
Astartes?
not a bad choice. I mean, hell, we saw World Eaters do really well in Canada recently at one of the GW Opens.
Oh yeah,
T-Suns. I don't think Death Guard's going anywhere. I'm just backing.
No, I think Death Guard is still fine, and I'm going to go Death Guard.
Yeah, I'm backing them to not come first, essentially.
Yeah.
I still think
There we
they're a
go.
very strong podium pick.
I'll still go.
Well,
Death
now
Guard.
that business is done, this is the part of the show where we sometimes get a little bit silly. So if you're new here, thank you very much. Please consider subscribing if you made it this far. Things are about to take a turn. We talk very little about 40K in the next part of the show. Sometimes we have a segment we call the Fuego Rapido, where we give ourselves a topic and then give ourselves this very specific time limit to talk about that topic. And then once that time limit is gone, or once we've exhausted that or satisfied the question, we abandoned it, never to return to it again unless demanded by our Patreon crew, which we really appreciate and get some great suggestions. One of the things we've been doing for the last several episodes is based off suggestions from the Patrons, and that is awesome. This week, I think we're going to do something a little bit different. Is that right?
Yeah, we're doing a little bit different. Kind of going back to old style Fuego, because this is our 100th episode that we haven't mentioned enough.
It's 100th
in this 100th episode of the 100th time we've done this episode of this show.
So there was funnily a chance that Paul could make it, because of course hotel internet is a crapshoot, and we were going to call this the 99th and 9/10th episode.
And I appreciate that.
We're going to wait for the 100 to get Paul on for sure, but he was able to make it, so here we are.
Thank you so much.
But it means we're going to an old school Fuego in terms of like the random questions where we have 2 minutes to answer them. But this one is more themed around how well do you know your Meta Chasers? Because so many of you have actually been with us since even before the beginning of Meta Chasers.
Correct.
So
Correct.
Let's see how the knowledge of the chat knows us and how much we know each other. Just some basic questions about us that we've mentioned.
Freaking KR's a brute. 5 years, boys.
It's once a week. That's
he was throwing shade at Georgia Tech earlier. Georgia Tech, you could also see from here.
Nice.
All right, we got there. So we got 2 questions about each of the Meta Chasers here. And chat, please chime in if you think you know the answer to it, and we'll try to answer them about each other. The first one: what is Paul's favorite food?
Oh, this is tricky because I love meat.
There's only really 2 contenders having.
There's 2 contenders.
But
you say one of them, I'll say the other.
Which one? Oh, burgers.
Tacos.
I know. Which one is it, Dustin?
Which one is it?
It is burgers. I was
about to say, yeah.
I mean, wings are up there too, but if I just had to have one every single day, it's going to be some type of burger that's dressed differently.
All right.
You answered it too quickly. Chat didn't have a chance to chime in enough.
I was hoping you were going to make us sweat a little bit, Paul. You should have thrown out the wings. Oh, boys, maybe it's wings. Oh, who knows? Yeah.
I mean, I actually, if you started saying wings, I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think of that. That sure might actually be wings. I would have second guessed myself, and I was already confident in the top two. It was either burgers or tacos, but
I probably eat more wings than burgers, but my answer is the answer.
All right,
that's fair though. But is tacos above wings?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes burgers, and then it like if this was a faction podium, it would go burgers, then a small dip to tacos, and then a bit of a cliff to wings. Small cliff to wings.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very particular about the wings. Like they have to be made a certain way, crafted by an artisan.
That makes sense.
All right. What will Paul not accept on his burger, Dustin? What do you reckon?
He's actually mentioned this before too. I don't know if I can remember that. I know you've said it before.
This might be hard.
It is hard.
But tomatoes are right out.
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
That was not going to be my guess. I was always leaning towards the pickles because that seems to be the one that most people.
Pickles are amazing.
I love pickles.
Yeah, correct.
But
he's a Southern boy. Pickles, yes.
But it's
tomatoes. Yes.
The one I don't understand is that you will tolerate lettuce, but not tomato.
Lettuce is got it's got a little bit of crunch,
tomato.
But the lettuce has to be in a way that doesn't make the bun slide off. Like the lettuce also has to be, positioned and stacked.
He's very particular about it. Like the layering of it has to be perfect. The amount of the sauce and stuff that's seeping into the bun. So yeah. All right. Next up, what part of Australia does Adam live in? Yeah,
I know this.
I have to look up the different regions in Australia. Help me out, Google. Victoria, Western Australia, New South Wales, Northern Territory, Queensland, South Australia, Australian Capital Territory, and Melbourne. And 3 more. Northern Australia, Hobart.
And 3 more.
Just 3 more.
Just that ring around. Just a ring around.
And the rest. And the rest.
There was a button that said show more, all right? I didn't see it at first. Give me a break. Okay, I know it's not Tasmania.
Does anybody even chat even know?
Eastport, Queensland?
Right near the beach.
Right near the beach?
Well, that's a good punt because that's like 96% of our population is in like freaking 10 Ks of the beach.
Melbourne.
That is my home city, and it's Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Yeah,
I
wouldn't have. I don't know where. I have no idea where Victoria is. So
fair. So it's the bottom. It's the bottom right above the island.
I remember the bottom right part. I just didn't know which one of these was the bottom right. There's no Southeast Australia listed here.
Fair. It's a confusing place.
Isn't Australia all Southeast? I guess it's perspective.
It's a perspective. It's Southeast if you're in Asia.
It's a big island. It's a big island and nothing is what we got.
What's kind of weird is that people drew it on the map just thinking it had to exist before it was ever found by the Western world.
Yeah, it was wild.
Because I should say found because people were already there. So
it was also wild. So I was in Amsterdam and I was learning a little about the Dutch East India Company and some of the stuff they did because they were in Australia before the British, and they just went the wrong freaking way. They went down the desert shit side of Australia instead of going down the lush side that Captain Cook found. And so if they had it turned a left instead of a right, I'll be speaking Dutch right now. So it's just very interesting.
Just assume that everybody knows where it is on the map. It's just like we don't actually know what day it is right now. We just trust that somebody has kept track of every day since the beginning of days.
And then they added months here and there too. Like
adding random
stuff. It's all a scam. Dates are a scam.
I hope someone got stabbed for adding those.
Like, what the heck?
I hope someone got stabbed so many times for adding those months.
It's like 11's not quite right. Let's add another one in there. What are we gonna call
No, he did. His name was Julius Caesar. He got stabbed heaps.
My goodness.
All right, it's time for the Dustin question. Let's go.
First Dustin question. All right. What is Dustin's degree in?
I'm going to guess it's something hilariously useless or something extremely useful.
No, I mean, it obviously can't be computer science.
Funny
Why, you
enough, I
think he-
actually was gonna go for computer science.
Now, I knew that, and
I just want to say something like philosophy just for the memes. So
it is
applied
definitely-
arts, liberal arts.
Yeah.
degree. Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
my models are not that great. Go.
it is.
It's not. It's not. It's gonna be
Communications.
like
It is-
Communications. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's leather work.
yes.
leather work. Astrophysics, obviously. Oh, I know
Definitely.
I've mentioned this on the show before. I know I have.
Is there a degree for like horoscopes?
I think there is actually.
Gotta
Jeez,
be
that's-
like
advanced
astrology, isn't it?
astrology.
It's astrology.
yeah.
But you got to make it sound official. It's advanced astrology.
Advanced. That's the
Yeah.
advanced.
Advanced
astrology.
astrology. Advanced astrology. Yes.
Learning what? Never mind. Well, Leo in retrograde or whatever. It's going to do for your chakras. It's definitely the advanced part of
The
astronomy.
moon is at this level, this part of the day.
I was going to guess it was like engineering of some degree,
Close.
like tech engineering, like software engineering.
The official degree is actually game design, which includes software engineering.
I did not know
There you
that.
go.
The reason I say computer science because you do,
Get off my LinkedIn, John.
got a big brain over there. And I was like, you can't possibly have like started out that way.
All right.
Yeah, it's officially in game design, which does include like art, software engineering, all that stuff. So
I
it's a
love that me
plethora.
and Paul. I love that me and Paul synced up to try and find the most useless thing, and then we both actually were pretty close on our actual guess.
Yeah,
We're relatively- yeah.
All right, and back to the top. One more for each of us. What is Paul's Warhammer team name?
I know exactly what it is.
I know what this is.
Any-
Come on, chat.
Anybody in chat can go
Anybody in
first.
chat know what this is?
We have a lot of merch. Not to sell, but we just like merched out ourselves, you know.
Yeah. It's like right way adults or something.
Not the right way. Great team, by the way. Awesome folks. Just recently, we just came fourth at the ATC. That was,
Yeah,
That
awesome.
was a great run. That was like going against Art of War first round, wasn't it?
we did that first round, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, a couple
There
weeks
we
ago.
go. We got
Yeah,
it.
there it is. Hey, Steve,
Wrong
got
way
it.
kids.
Wrong
Have
way
you been
No.
part of any other teams before the Wrong Way Kids?
I mean, again, like there was a bunch of things like in the ancient past or whatever, but no, this has like been the crew for the last 15 years or so.
What was your first club? What was your first club?
First
It
love.
was a club. It was the North Atlanta Tactical Organization. NATO is what it was.
It's always
That's
it
cool.
always has to be like made an abbreviation. Always.
Yeah.
A cool abbreviation.
I've seen people like write their team names with the most nonsense, hilarious crap just to get a good abbreviation.
Yeah. But it was a big store. Like the store was actually in a refurbished grocery store, so it was massive at the time. And I'd taken a break after third edition, and because basically just I think it was like a ticket, but the gap in between third and fourth, and got back into it into fourth, and that's what actually started my grand tournament journey. Was around that time. I was finally able to kind of get out and go to some of these big tournaments, and
Nice.
and had a great group to test against and played into, like
That's
hard
cool.
players.
That's
at that
the
first
that's
place.
the key. Once you get that group that you can play against and get that kind of practice, so you make that steep inclined.
Mm.
I
into
remember
competitive play.
I took some Death Company and a Rhino and played one test game before the first Atlanta Grand Tournament and got pasted. I'm like, jump packs on everybody.
Let's go. What was your
Fuego.
first team, Adam?
I think it was Hive City.
Hive City.
Yeah, I'm like Paul. I've been on numerous teams.
Oh, yeah.
I've been playing for Art of War for like the last 5 or 6, but before that, I was on like 20 teams. Yeah,
My first.
I would
was-
chop and change just for the memes every other event.
Of course. We all do that sometimes too, right? Mine was Forbes First Legion. Forbes was our local hobby shop. That was like just got a bunch
Nice.
of random guys together, and yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Good times. All right, next up. How many Warhammer related shows is Adam a part of?
Where's my Infinity Gauntlet?
We're out of fingers.
And you got, like, I want chat to name them too, because it might be a couple that, because we're
Is this shows or regular casting spots or just podcasts?
shows / podcasts. I don't know about regular casting spots because that's going to get a little crazy.
Fair.
Yeah.
I need to count them off now. 1 sec. I'll put my
We
fingers
do 'em.
away.
You know.
Yeah, there's one of them. Hey, Steve's got one of them, of course.
Yep.
That one's easy.
It's Paul's show. Yeah.
Obviously,
He lets me on.
It's the
He-
people's
he's-
show.
He's tolerated my presence for a few years now.
Yeah, Thursday show. Yeah, see,
If you want to be how many I have been on,
Oh, yeah,
regularly,
that's-
this is going to be.
we're gonna get a
ridiculous.
little crazy here.
Well, you've got, and people may not know this. You have a old world show.
I
Yeah.
do. That old world charm, baby,
Mm-hmm.
with Peter the Falcon and Danny McDevitt. It's absolute nonsense. You should get on it.
Yeah, Art of War Down Under. Yeah, for sure.
What's the second one that the KR said?
Here, so Warhammer Meta Chasers.
Ah, yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. I haven't started that show yet. What would his stand for?
Let's figure it out.
All right. Is time up?
Yeah, time's up.
It's 4.
Yeah.
Just 4? I thought there
So
was 2 more in there somewhere.
FTN, this one, Art of War
The-
Down Under, and then you be counting Old World because that's
Yeah.
technically
It's
40
one
hours,
related.
Yeah,
It's not 140
that's
related.
what I was counting.
There was a couple more. But yeah, I've
You need to
decided
scale it back. You need
to
some time to
not
yourself.
die.
You need to
Yeah,
scale
there-
it back.
There was a couple others. So like about 2 years ago, I was on 5, and then I dropped 2, got back 1. So,
Last but not least, this is our slightly Warhammer related questions. What was Dustin's first Warhammer army? And the answer may surprise you.
first ever, not 40k, just
First-
in general.
Is that different?
Well, is it your first?
Well, so this is 40k pocket. We'll say my first 40k army.
Oh dang, I was gonna say what else,
Oh.
but yeah,
It's got
That would have been wrong.
dang.
Yukari, Dark Eldar.
Nope.
Ooh. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be something silly like salamanders. Well, not silly, but off brand for you.
Off brand. It is.
Yeah.
It is off brand. But actually, Paul was close.
Oh,
Could you have the army still, right?
he still has Eldar. Yeah, was it Eldar?
It was Eldar.
Yeah.
Because I
remember you got some OG Harlequins or something, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Like, I
Yeah,
had a lot of
that's
OG
that's.
stuff.
I should have remembered that, Paul. You're onto it.
Yeah.
He's mentioned
Yeah.
it before.
I have definitely
with-
mentioned that before. It was when my friend that introduced me to the game explained it to me. When he was explaining the factions. When he got to Eldar, he was like, and I was already an elf fan because I like wood elves. But incidentally, my first fantasy army was undead, like vampire
Solid.
cats.
You can paint that army up quick.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I remember his description of it was ninja space elves. They're like, wow. I'm in.
Okay, and
I thought it was going to be the way it was described to me. It's like, this is the faction for the people who think they're better than everybody else.
oh man,
I was coming over with a bunch of jaded Warhammer Fantasy players, so we were quite jaded.
That's fair.
Times change though.
No,
Time has changed.
I think that's our show this
That's
week.
it.
It's been a blast. I'm glad we're all back together again, and it feels good.
It's
Keep
good.
It's
going.
been so good. I've missed you all.
You're back.
Yep. So thanks a lot for hanging out, chat. Y'all been absolutely awesome as always. If listeners on the podcast aggregators, please consider leaving us some 5-star reviews. That's the kind of ways that you kind of trick the algorithm into coming and having other people to come hang out with us or listen to us. We really appreciate that. Leave some comments on the videos if you happen to be watching us after the fact on YouTube. And now we're going to be back to our normal schedule every Thursday, talking about the biggest tournaments coming up, 40K tournaments coming up all over the world. You don't want to miss it. And then, you gotta see how this meta is developing.
It's going to get wild. We still have apparently a slate and MFM coming at some point in the future. We just had a one coming in to top the cut off the some of the percentage off the top big three. Going to see how that settles, and then whatever rolls on from here. We've got a couple of codexes left for the end of the edition. Then we've got Imperial Knights and Drukhari are the two major factions without codexes now. I think everything else is done. We're like, who knows? Could be, in the next couple of months, the game is just complete and we're just rolling with a beautiful meta with everyone's got their codex.
Well, we got everybody, all options, cool things to do, and then all people still coming out and playing in these weekend events all around the globe. We'll see y'all next week, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Have a good night. Stay safe out there.
See you next time.